Excuse me, sorry, thank you very much. Hello folks, yes, it's time for more Robin Hood Challenge YouTube Challenge Robin Hood thing, where I look at all the Robin Hood films, so you don't have to, and then you can join me at home and I'll give you my honest review. Today it's the Errol Flynn one, which people of a certain age group probably, that's the one they saw and probably the one that most people think of. So it's a bit of a swashbuckling one today, if that's really a word. Anyway, join me at home later and I'll tell you what I think. Could do with some booze for this one, I think. The Adventures of Robin Hood, starring Errol Flynn, Olivia de Havilland, Claude Rains and Basil Rathbone. What a fantastic film. I know it's not normal to start a review by saying how wonderful a film is, but it just is. And it's perfect and it's ideal for my first film in my challenge of watching all the Robin Hood films. It really is the archetypal Robin Hood film. If you've ever, as a kid, worn a green hat, some tights, and gone around going pretending that you're Robin Hood, you are basically doing an Errol Flynn impression. There are films that came before it, in fact a few black and white and silent films of the basic research that I've done. But this really is the starting point, and I think if you look at modern films today, such as things like Star Wars, you really do get a sense that they stole a lot from this film, or certainly were of a generation that grew up with this. It's a 1938 film and won 3 Academy Awards. And just look at the sets alone, they're fantastic. It really is that era of lavish films. It's the sort of swashbuckling Wizard of Oz of its day, really, without that trick of going from black and white into colour. It just starts off in Technicolor, grabs you by the throat and takes you on an adventure for the entire length of the film. It really does start out wonderfully and just doesn't seem to stop. And as normal in these sorts of films, there is a love interest which when I was a kid always for me slowed things down, but it really doesn't in this, and also echoes, like I've just said, about that Star Wars link where you have the princess, of course in this film it's Maid Marian, where she is a strong independent character, though yes, she does end up in a castle type room, Rapunzel-esque, being rescued by Robin. She's still a determined character, she's still a strong female lead, rather than just the princess in a castle. And I like that fact, and I like the fact that she is shown the evil of her ways, as she is one of the Norman nobility, and of course poor Robin Hood, or Sir Robin, is one of the Saxons.
I am, bitterly. But it's a shame that I'm a Norman, after seeing the things my fellow countrymen have done to England. At first I wouldn't believe. Because I was a Norman, I wouldn't let myself believe that the horrors you inflicted on the Saxons were just and right. I know now why you tried so hard to kill this outlaw whom you despised. It's because he was the one man in England who protected the helpless against a lot of beasts who were drunk on human blood.
When the Saxons all join Robin's band deep in Sherwood Forest and all end up wearing the same clothes that he is, apart from Will Scarlet, of course, who looks like he has far too much fun in the woods. This film really does have every single one of the archetypal Robin Hood tropes in it. From killing the king's deer to Will Scarlet, Little John, the fight on the log over the river is just fantastic and beautiful. I mean, just look at the pictures of it. There's really lots of thought that went into the filmography. Filmography, is that a word? Filmography. For the cinematography in this film that really does come across, and like I mentioned, the wonderful sets, the castles, the interiors are fantastic, the costumes are brilliant. Olivia de Havilland shines in absolutely everything that she's wearing, literally. They often seem to be silver, almost space age affairs. There really is some great comic relief in this film in a very sort of British style. Much the Miller's Son is fantastic, and the relationship he has with Marion's ward is is brilliant, to say the least. And I love some of the characters' names. Sir Mortimer of Leeds, whoever Sir Mortimer of Leeds is. And of course the eponymous Golden Arrow competition, where Robin is tricked out of the forest because he can't resist a good archery competition when you're going to win a golden prize. I mean, who can, hey? I really have very little negative to say about this film. If you really want to be picky, and I know as archers and coming from the point of view as archers, we're probably going to look at the longbows and say, well, they aren't really accurate. And well, they're not, but really, when has Hollywood or any film company particularly got the bows correct? It's always a bit of a difficult one, and the arrows, quite a lot of them seem to be barred turkey feathers and the like. But it all looks the part, and it's all done fantastically well. And of course, as a lot of you know, the shooting, when you see people getting shot, they really are getting shot. I mean, all right, they don't die, but Howard Hill does the vast majority of the shooting tricks that you see in this film. So when you see a man-at-arms being shot, he's really being shot by Howard Hill, who's just out of sight of the camera, shooting at these actors. I mean, Christ, Jackie Chan wouldn't even do that. And yes, everyone is wearing hand-knitted chainmail sprayed silver, but again, it looks the part. And the film is just so charming and just so fantastic, and really just crams every single one of those Robin Hood things into it in one go, that you're really left breathless and just cheering for Robin Hood along with all the other cast members.
Now, this forest is wide. It can shelter and clothe and feed a band of good determined men. Good swordsmen, good archers, good fighters. Are you with me?
So in short, it's a Robin Hood film. It's got everything that you could possibly want in a Robin Hood film. It's got all the characters, it's got all the scenes, it's got King Richard being absent, allowing his evil brother to cause havoc and charge everyone taxes, which is of course why we like Robin Hood, which is of course why we, book writers, film artists, are still fascinated with this character. He represents us. He's a hero that we can aspire to. It isn't something like Captain America or Spider-Man who's got superpowers. It's a natural, simple tale of a simple man trying to help his fellow men get away from evil taxes and kill a few king's deer. And I think that's really why we still like him and are still attracted to him. It still applies today. And I don't think there is really any coincidence that this film came out in 1938, just at the rise of Hitler and Nazism over in Germany. So, what do I give this film? Well, I think I'll have to give it 5 green tights out of 5. It really is excellent, and I can highly recommend it. The DVD that I purchased has got an extra bonus disc in it with a making of and documentaries and various other interesting bits and pieces on it. I really do recommend that you check it out. Well, join me next time where we'll be reviewing another Robin Hood film. I don't know which one I'm going to pick yet. So yeah, please subscribe to the channel if you want to see that. Join us on Facebook and all that other groovy stuff. And enjoy.
Excuse me, sorry. Can you move your bag? Sorry, thank you very much. Thank you. Right. Hello again, folks. Yes, it's time for more Robin Hood video challenge thing where I look at all the Robin Hood films and then give you my honest opinion of them. Today it's Errol Flynn. It's probably the one most people think of, I suppose, or of a certain age group anyway. So yeah, bit of a swashbuckling one today. So I'm going to have a look at it. You don't have to. Oh, fucking cockwank. Excuse me, thank you. Hello folks, yes, and welcome to another episode of Looking at Robin Hood. Oh, feck.